Is the town of Cargillet. Marc Bedeau told about just before about water, the power of water, and the metaphor of Cargillet is the power of diamonds. Why diamonds can scratch the glass and not the atom of carbons that are the compound from which emerge this powerness of the diamonds. And so, yes, it's not because Carle is an expert of jewels, but he's an expert of the importance of emergence for everyday life and for the study of the science, like Timothy O'Connor said before. Sciences study these new powers of the objects of everyday life and of emergent systems. And so we ask to Cargillet about the power of these emergent systems.
So I like that. I like the diamond example. And so the 20th century science was marked by the explanation of all kinds of wholes, not just diamonds being explained by parts like carbon atoms, but the body being explained by parts like organs, organs being explained by tissues, tissues being explained by cells, cells being explained by organelles, organelles being explained by molecules, molecules being explained by atoms. And that's one of the big advances in 20th century science. And the first wave of reaction to those compositional findings was a radical reductionism that said, hey, look, we don't need to believe in any of these wholes. All we need to believe in are the parts, because now we can explain the whole just using the parts alone. We can explain why the diamond scratches just in terms of the carbon atoms holding each other tight and moving the glass molecules. We can explain why the heart pumps blood by the parts, the cells contracting. Now that radical reductionism was criticized widely and effectively by all kinds of people, both in philosophy and science. But that negative critique also needs us to have some kind of story to one of the big questions of our times, which is, how do wholes fit in to this compositional hierarchy in nature into various labels, including, as Tim says, how do humans fit in? We take ourselves to be completely composed, we take our bodies completely composed, we take our organs to be completely composed, but so how do we fit in to this compositional hierarchy once we reject the radical claim that there's nothing but atoms and cells? So in the second wave of reactions to that science in the 20th century, various people looking at emergence and labeling themselves emergentism, again in philosophy as well as in science, have begun to give positive stories of various kinds, as Mark was kind of beginning to spell out, that try and give a positive story of slightly different kinds of how people or societies or diamonds or hearts or cells could fit in that compositional story and yet still be real in some way or other. So it's a really exciting time to engage work on emergentism, because it's both kind of engaging particular scientific findings, but also giving a bigger story about how all kinds of things fit into nature itself, including ourselves. So the workshop's been fantastic, it's been very exciting, and it's kind of engaging both the smaller questions about particular science, but also really big questions about how we fit into nature given those scientific discoveries.